The rain hit like a betrayal, sudden and unforgiving, turning the narrow hiking trail into a slick trap under my boots. I was alone, or so I thought, until I heard her voice cutting through the downpour. A sharp, frustrated curse that echoed my own panic. Magnolia, that's what she said her name was when we collided at the fork in the path, both of us drenched and disoriented, her wedding ring glinting like a warning under the gray sky. I never planned for this. My hike was supposed to be a solo escape from the suffocating routine of my life in Seattle, where I worked endless hours as a graphic designer, burying myself in pixels to avoid the emptiness that had settled in after my last breakup. But there she was, Magnolia, with her sharp features and that quiet confidence that drew me in immediately. We decided to stick together, figuring two heads were better than one against the worsening storm. As we pushed forward, the path vanished into mud and overgrown brush, and soon we were truly lost, miles from any trail marker. My heart pounded not just from the exertion but from the way she looked at me, those dark eyes assessing, almost challenging. "I'm married," she blurted out early on, as if to set a boundary, her voice laced with something unspoken. I nodded, pretending it didn't matter, but inside, a flicker of curiosity ignited. Why mention it now? Was it for me or for herself? We found a small overhang in the rocks to shelter under, huddling close as the wind howled. Our conversation started practical, sharing granola bars, checking our phones for signal that never came, but it deepened quickly, like the night falling around us. She talked about her life in Portland, how she'd married young to escape a conservative family that saw her as a disappointment for not fitting their mold. They wanted the perfect daughter, she said, her tone bitter. Church every Sunday, husband, kids. I gave them the husband part at least. I listened, my own thoughts swirling. I'd grown up in a liberal bubble, but even there, my attractions to women had been a quiet secret, one I'd explored in fleeting relationships that never stuck. Sharing that with her felt risky, yet in the isolation of the woods it poured out. "I've always known," I confessed, "but it's easier to hide than to fight." As hours stretched, the cold seeped in, forcing us closer. Her hand brushed mine accidentally, and neither of us pulled away. That touch lingered in my mind, a spark in the damp darkness. What was I doing? She was married, a stranger, yet her presence filled the void I'd been carrying. By morning, when the rain eased, we emerged not just survivors of the night but changed, an invisible thread tying us. We found our way back to the trailhead eventually, exchanging numbers with promises of coffee to laugh about the ordeal. But as I drove home, her words echoed. Sometimes getting lost is the only way to find yourself. I wondered if she meant it for both of us. Back in the city, life resumed its grind, but Magnolia haunted my thoughts. I'd replay our conversations, dissecting every glance, every shared laugh. Was it just the adrenaline? Or something real? I texted her a week later, casual at first. "Survived the wilderness?" Her reply came quick. "Barely. Coffee this weekend." My pulse raced. This was dangerous territory. She had a husband, a life built on expectations. But the pull was undeniable. We met at a quiet cafe overlooking the Sound, the air buzzing with unspoken tension. She looked different in civilian clothes, jeans and a soft sweater that hugged her frame, her hair tucked behind one ear. "I haven't stopped thinking about that night," she admitted over lattes, her eyes avoiding mine at first. I leaned in. "Me neither." It felt honest. The word hung between us, heavy with implication. She confessed her marriage was crumbling, a facade held together by guilt and family pressure. "He's a good man, but I'm not in love. Never was, really." Her voice cracked, revealing the cracks in her armor. Inside, my mind raced. Was I the catalyst she needed? Or was I stepping into a minefield? As we talked, our knees brushed under the table, sending a jolt through me. I wanted to reach for her hand, to tell her she wasn't alone in her confusion. But morality tugged at me. What right did I have to disrupt her life? Yet, the connection felt fated, born from that stormy night. By the end of the afternoon, we'd planned another meetup, this time a walk in a park, away from prying eyes. The walks became routine, each one peeling back layers. Magnolia shared stories of her childhood, the suffocating expectations from her religious parents who viewed anything outside heteronormative as sin. "They'd disown me if they knew," she whispered one evening as we sat on a bench, the sunset painting the sky. I opened up about my own fears, the judgment from colleagues, the loneliness of hiding. Society says we're free, but the stares, the whispers, they wear you down. Our conversations turned intimate, not physically but emotionally, forging a bond that terrified and thrilled me. One day, she arrived agitated, her eyes red-rimmed. "He suspects something," she said, pacing. "Not about you, but that I'm pulling away." My stomach knotted. This was the reality crashing in, the potential for pain, for destruction. Should I back off? Let her sort her mess? But the thought of losing her grip on my heart was unbearable. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. She stopped, looking at me with raw vulnerability. "I want to feel alive, Maeve. With you I do." That admission shifted everything. We weren't just friends anymore. We were teetering on the edge of something profound and forbidden. As we parted that day, her hug lingered, her breath warm against my neck. Driving home, doubt flooded me. Was love worth the wreckage? The answer eluded me, but the pull toward her grew stronger, promising both salvation and ruin. The secrecy began to weigh like an anchor, pulling me deeper into a sea of guilt and desire. Our meetings escalated from innocent walks to stolen afternoons in hidden corners of the city, where we'd talk for hours, our words weaving a tapestry of shared dreams and hidden pains. Magnolia's husband, David, loomed in the background like a shadow, a constant reminder of the line we were crossing. "I told him I joined a book club," she laughed one day, but the sound was hollow, laced with unease. We were in a small art gallery, pretending to admire paintings while our fingers intertwined briefly behind our backs. Her touch sent waves through me, but each time I'd pull away first, haunted by the ethics of it all. Who was I to insert myself into her marriage? Yet her eyes pleaded for understanding, for the freedom she craved. "You've awakened something in me, Maeve. I can't go back to pretending." My own life started fracturing under the strain. At work, I'd zone out during meetings, my mind replaying her smiles, her confessions. Friends noticed my distraction, probing gently, but I deflected, burying the truth deeper. Inside, the conflict raged. This love felt pure, yet it was built on deception. Was I selfish for pursuing it? Or brave for embracing what society often shunned? One evening, we met at a secluded beach outside town, the waves crashing like our turbulent emotions. Magnolia arrived with a backpack, pulling out a blanket and wine. "Let's forget the world for a bit," she said, her voice trembling. As we sat, she opened up about her family's influence, her parents' relentless calls, pushing for grandchildren, oblivious to her inner turmoil. "They think happiness is a checklist: marriage, kids, church. But I'm suffocating." Tears welled, and I wiped them away, my hand lingering on her cheek. The gesture felt natural, yet forbidden. "What if we run away?" she whispered, half joking, but her eyes searched mine for seriousness. My heart ached. "And leave everything behind? Your life, my job." The words trailed off, but the fantasy tempted me. In that moment, under the fading light, I leaned in, our foreheads touching, breaths mingling. No kiss, but the intimacy was electric, charging the air with possibility and peril. Back home, alone in my apartment, doubt consumed me. I'd stare at my phone, her text lighting up the screen. "Miss you already." Each one a dagger to my conscience. Was this love or infatuation fueled by forbidden thrill? I researched online, reading stories of women in similar situations, the heartbreaks, the societal backlash. It only amplified my fears. Yet, ignoring her calls felt impossible. She had become my anchor in a stormy sea of self-doubt. The first crack appeared when David confronted her. She called me late one night, voice hushed. He found a receipt from the cafe. Asked why I was there alone. Panic surged through me. "What did you say?" "Book club," she replied, but the lie hung heavy. We both knew the web was tightening. "I can't keep this up," she admitted. "But I can't lose you." Her words mirrored my own terror. We decided to cool off, give space, but it lasted mere days. A text from her. "Need to see you." We met in a park, tension thick. "I'm filing for divorce," she declared, eyes fierce. Shock hit me. "Because of me?" She shook her head. "Because of me. You've shown me I deserve more." Pride swelled, but so did responsibility. Was I ready for the fallout? Her family's wrath, society's judgment? As weeks passed, the divorce proceedings began, shrouded in secrecy. Magnolia moved to a small apartment, cutting ties with her parents temporarily. They called me a sinner, she confided over coffee, her hands shaking. Said I'm destroying our family legacy. My heart broke for her, but anger flared at the injustice. Why should love be condemned? I held her hand openly for the first time, in a quiet booth, defying the invisible eyes around us. But freedom came at a cost. Whispers at her workplace started. Colleagues gossiping about her midlife crisis. She lost friends, allies who sided with David. He's playing the victim, she said bitterly, telling everyone I abandoned him. Inside, I questioned my role. Had I pushed her? Or empowered her? The line blurred, leaving me sleepless, wrestling with morality. One night, alone, I confronted my reflection. Is this worth it? The answer came in waves. Yes, for the joy she brought. No, for the pain inflicted. But love wasn't logical. It was a force demanding sacrifices. As I texted her goodnight, a resolve formed: we'd face this together, no matter the storms ahead. Yet, deep down, I knew more tempests loomed, testing our bond to its core. The backlash hit like a tidal wave, sweeping away the fragile peace we'd built. Magnolia's parents descended on her new apartment unannounced, their faces etched with disapproval and desperation. This is madness, her mother spat, clutching a Bible like a weapon. You're throwing away your life for what? A phase. Magnolia stood firm, but I could see the cracks in her resolve, the child within yearning for acceptance. I wasn't there, but she recounted it over the phone, voice breaking. They want me to go to counseling to fix this. Rage boiled in me. Fix what? Our love? But I swallowed it, offering support. You're not broken, Magnolia. They're just scared. Inside, my own fears mirrored theirs. What if this destroyed her? What if I was the villain in her story? Society's judgment amplified the isolation. At a mutual friends party, our first public outing as a couple, stares followed us like shadows. Whispers reached my ears. Isn't she the one who left her husband? For a woman? How scandalous. Magnolia gripped my hand tighter, but her smile faltered. Later in the car she exploded. Why can't they mind their own business? We're not hurting anyone. But we were, David, her family, even ourselves with the constant defense. My family, more progressive, still hesitated. My sister called, concerned. Are you sure about this? She's fresh out of a marriage. Doubt seeded in me. Was I a rebound? Or the real deal? I pushed it down, focusing on us. We spent evenings cooking together, laughing over mishaps, building a life amid the chaos. Yet, each tender moment was tainted by the outside world. Betrayal struck from an unexpected angle. David, in his pain, outed us to Magnolia's workplace. Emails circulated, anonymous but pointed, questioning her professionalism. How can we trust someone who deceives her own husband? She lost a promotion, her boss citing distractions. Tears streamed as she told me, "This is my career, Maeve. Years of work gone. Guilt crushed me. Had my love cost her everything? We'll fight it," I vowed, but inside I wondered if we could win against such prejudice. The maw of depression opened for her. Nights where she'd stare blankly, questioning her choices. Was it worth it? Leaving stability for this uncertainty? I'd hold her, whispering affirmations, but my own doubts echoed. Love demanded sacrifices, but how much? I sacrificed friendships too. Some drifted, uncomfortable with the drama. Isolation bound us closer, yet bred resentment. A confrontation with her parents escalated. We met them at a neutral cafe, hoping for understanding. Her father glared at me. "You're the reason she's lost her way." Magnolia defended. No, dad. This is who I am. Words flew like daggers. Accusations of immorality, pleas for repentance. I stayed silent at first, then spoke. Love isn't a sin. Denying it is. They left unmoved, cutting contact. Magnolia sobbed in my arms that night, the loss visceral. Inside I battled my conscience. Was pushing her to embrace this worth the familial rift? Logic said yes, authenticity over facade. But emotion screamed the pain. We sought therapy separately at first, unpacking the trauma. My sessions revealed my fear of abandonment, rooted in past relationships. You're afraid she'll regret you, the therapist said. It hit home. As months dragged, small victories emerged. Magnolia found a new job, one more accepting. We attended a pride event, surrounded by allies, feeling empowered. But the high was fleeting. David's lawyer dragged out the divorce, contesting assets with vengeance. He wants to punish me, she said wearily. The financial strain hit us both. I dipped into savings to help. One explosive argument tested us. You don't understand the cost, she yelled, frustration boiling over. My family, my reputation, all gone. I fired back. And what about me? I've stood by you through it all. Silence fell, heavy with regret. We reconciled with apologies, but the wound lingered, a reminder of fragility. Through it all, our bond deepened, forged in fire. Yet I couldn't shake the question. Was this path righteous or a selfish pursuit? As we lay awake, her head on my chest, I pondered the moral maze. Love defied easy answers, demanding we navigate its thorns, hoping for blooms on the other side. But the journey exacted its toll, leaving scars that time might never fully heal. Healing came in fragments, pieced together amid ongoing storms. Magnolia's divorce finalized after grueling months, a Pyrrhic victory that left her emotionally drained but legally free. We celebrated quietly with takeout and wine in our shared apartment, a bold step we'd taken despite the risks. To new beginnings, I toasted, but her smile didn't reach her eyes, shadowed by the losses. Reconciliation attempts with her family faltered. A letter from her mother arrived, pleading for her to come back to God. Magnolia crumpled it, tears flowing. They see me as damned. I comforted her, but inside, anger at their blindness festered. How could faith justify such cruelty? My own reflections turned inward. Had I idealized our love, ignoring the collateral damage? Society's undercurrents persisted. At a neighborhood gathering, a well-meaning neighbor asked about my friend. Girlfriend, I corrected firmly. Awkward silence followed, then polite nods. Magnolia squeezed my hand later. Progress, right? But the microaggressions chipped away, the averted gazes, the subtle exclusions. We joined a support group for LGBTQ+ couples, finding solace in shared stories. You're not alone, a member said. It helped but didn't erase the isolation. Betrayal reared again when an old friend of Magnolia's leaked details to her parents. They showed up at our door furious. This is unnatural, her father bellowed. Magnolia stood her ground. Leave or I'll call the police. They left, but the invasion shattered our sanctuary. That night she broke down. Why can't they accept me? I held her, whispering, because change scares them. But my words felt inadequate against her pain. My career suffered too. A client pulled out after hearing rumors. Personal drama affecting professionalism. Frustration mounted. Was this the price of authenticity? I vented to Magnolia. Sometimes I wonder if hiding was easier. She looked hurt. Do you regret us? No, I assured, but the seed of doubt sprouted. Love required constant reaffirmation amid external assaults. A turning point came during a weekend getaway to the mountains, ironic, given how we met. Away from the noise, we reconnected deeply. I chose this, she said by the fire. You. Warmth flooded me, dissolving some fears. But reality intruded upon return. David sued for alimony, claiming emotional distress. The legal battle drained us financially and emotionally. He's bitter, Magnolia sighed. And I get it, I hurt him. Guilt resurfaced for her, a constant companion. In therapy together now, we unpacked the mouthwash. Love isn't zero-sum, the counselor said. But actions have consequences. We explored our motivations. Hers escaping a loveless marriage, mine finding genuine connection. It clarified but didn't simplify. I journaled nightly, dissecting my inner conflicts. The joy of her laughter versus the ache of her tears. Was the balance worth it? Friends divided loyalties. Some supported, others ghosted. A close pal confronted me. You're enabling an affair's aftermath. Defensive, I argued. It wasn't an affair, we waited. But was that true? Emotional infidelity predated the physical separation. The gray area haunted me, blurring right and wrong. Magnolia's awakening intensified. She volunteered at a queer youth center, channeling pain into purpose. If I can help one kid avoid my struggles. Pride swelled in me seeing her strength. Yet envy flickered, her growth outpaced mine, leaving me feeling stagnant. Am I holding you back? I asked one night. She cupped my face. You're my anchor. Reassured, but the dynamic shifted, demanding I evolve too. As tensions eased slightly, a family emergency tested us. Magnolia's sister called, their mother ill. She wants to see you but alone. Heart-torn, Magnolia went, returning conflicted. She begged me to end this phase. Anger flared in me but empathy won. Give her time. Inside, fear gripped. What if she wavered? Trust fragile required nurturing. Through it all our love endured, a beacon amid darkness. But the journey revealed harsh truths. Happiness exacted payments in pain, forcing choices that defined us. As we navigated, I pondered the ethics. Was pursuing personal truth justifiable, even if it shattered others' worlds? The answer remained elusive, a riddle wrapped in emotion. Stability teased us, fragile as glass, as we settled into a rhythm. Magnolia's new role at the youth center brought fulfillment, her stories of helping others inspiring me to volunteer too. Together we built a community, allies who buffered society's barbs. But scars lingered, reminders of battles fought. David faded into the background, the alimony settled. Yet, his shadow prompted reflections. Had we minimized his pain? Magnolia admitted over dinner. I regret how I handled it, the secrecy. Honesty strengthened us, but unearthed buried resentments. You pushed me to leave, she said softly one evening. Stung, I replied. I supported your choice. The exchange escalated into argument, voices raised in the quiet apartment. Maybe I rushed because of you, she accused. Silence followed, heavy with truth. We slept apart that night, my mind churning. Was our foundation cracked? Reconciliation came with dawn. I'm sorry, she whispered, slipping into bed. Fear makes me lash out. We talked, peeling back layers, acknowledging the mutual influence. Love, we realized, was collaborative, each decision a shared burden. But the incident highlighted vulnerabilities, the fear of loss, amplified by past traumas. Her family's thaw began unexpectedly. A call from her sister. Mom wants to talk. Tentative meetings followed, guarded but hopeful. I don't understand, her mother said tearfully, but I miss my daughter. Progress, slow and painful, demanded compromises. Magnolia set boundaries. Accept me as I am or not at all. I watched from afar, proud yet anxious. Would reconciliation pull her away? My own growth accelerated. I came out fully at work, facing mixed reactions, support from some, distance from others. Promotion came, validating my resilience. Sharing with Magnolia. We're stronger together. She smiled genuinely, the first in weeks. But challenges persisted. A viral social media post about homewreckers hit close, sparking debates in our circle. Is love ever justification for hurt? A friend posed. It echoed my inner turmoil. Betrayal's final sting came from within our community. A supposed ally gossiped about our messy start, fracturing trusts. Magnolia confronted them. Our story isn't yours to judge. The incident united us but eroded faith in safe spaces. Even here prejudice lurks, she lamented. We withdrew slightly, focusing inward, nurturing our bond. As years edged forward, no months blended into a year. We marked our anniversary at the trailhead where it began. From lost to found, I said, hand in hers. Reflection washed over. The choices, the costs. Families strained, careers disrupted, selves transformed. Was it righteous? Highs and lows wove our narrative. Moments of pure joy like dancing in the kitchen. Depths of despair, questioning everything. Magnolia's awakening fully bloomed. Advocating publicly, her voice strong. I supported but sometimes felt overshadowed. Am I enough? I confided. She reassured. You're my everything. Yet doubts persisted in quiet hours. The moral quandary. Pursuing happiness at others' expense, ethical or egotistical. David's life rebuilt elsewhere, but the ripple effects endured. Her parents' partial acceptance brought mixed peace. In the end, our love stood battle-tested, a testament to resilience. But the journey posed enduring questions, challenging norms and hearts. We moved forward, hand in hand, embracing the ambiguity.